Hey, check 2 2. Oh no, I think that whole time I unmuted it as man. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Anna, can you hear me now? I think there's about a 10 or 15-second delay, but that I think hopefully should have solved the problem. Gabor also says I. Oh, yep. See, that should be. See, that's weird. Now I'm hearing both the delay. Okay, so I'm gonna have to take the headphones off completely. Why does it keep muting? Hey, check 2 2. Man, I'm not cut out for this live stream stuff. I'm gonna leave it on OBS. Okay, so everybody can hear me, I think. And so yeah, I was just talking a little bit about God, it mutes every time. All right, I'm just gonna leave it on OBS. It mutes every time I move away from OBS, which sucks because then I cannot read your questions. But maybe if I do this, I'm gonna resize. I'm gonna put it over there. Okay, now we've got it. So I am looking at OBS. It is not muted, and I can read read what you guys are typing. So we figured it out. I was just talking a little bit about what's going on in my life, but definitely ask any questions you have. This is definitely, I just wanted this to be a Q&A. If you guys want to talk about me or what's going on in my life or what's going on in your life, I'm happy to act as therapist for a second. Or if you have, homework questions or really anything, feel free to make any comment or question you would like. So failing that, I guess I can just reiterate things I was saying when I was muted and nobody could hear me. So yeah, what I was talking about is that things are, I was really just sort of venting about quarantine because I'm simultaneously invigorated and exhausted. I'm invigorated because without any distractions, I don't have any of my normal outlets. I've been just even more hyper focused on work, so I'm even more of a workaholic than ever, and I'm expanding into a bunch of different things. I wrote a book. I'm working on new outlets like Graphy and TikTok. I've partnered up with these other outlets to make different kind of content. But I don't get to rock climb or go get some drinks with friends. So I'm just sort of like emotionally drained. And I get energy from my work, so I like kind of it just like evens out, and I can keep going. But so that's been tough. Anna asks, I have loads of my own homework. Do you ever provide any? Well, I don't really provide homework. I have my little checking comprehension questions at the ends of many of my videos, like the chemistry and the math. But I haven't made any such content myself. Actually, a lot of people have asked for PDF notes and worksheets and things like that. So it's something that I might look into in the future. It could be an additional revenue stream, and it could be useful for students. It just seems like a lot of work without knowing that it would be profitable, and I'd rather just spend that time making new content. But yeah, I might do that at some point. I have had lots more time to learn more Italian language. That's very good. Annapolino, Annapolino. So I presume you may be, it's hard to see from the thumbnail there, you might be Italian yourself. So yeah, I'm glad that somebody has found my Italian tutorials useful because I think they're actually catching on a little bit now. I'm seeing a little bit more activity in the Italian tutorials, but I started those 2.5 years ago, and I finished them, I think, about a year ago. And Nobody. They may still be, but at the time they were by far my least watched content. I would publish one and would get like 200 views, and that was it. So I was like, oh man, but I had committed to it and I wanted to do the whole thing. So that's about 121 tutorials in there. Not really necessary unless you really want to. There are plenty of resources. Yeah, no, yeah, I figure. I don't know. I may make some resources at some point, but it's not really a top priority at the time. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for commenting about the Italian content. I was pretty proud of it when I made it, so I wanted to you know, I was hoping people would watch it. Danish with an Italian name. So there's some Italian ancestry in there for sure. I may do more languages. I know that. So my mother wrote the Italian content, or at least I based the scripts on her curriculum. And she is, you know, knew she studied classical languages, so she's also an expert in Latin. So I might do a brief series on Latin. I also can kind of speak Spanish because I studied Spanish and it's so similar to Italian. So I might do Spanish content one day. That probably should be the extent of it. I really have no business doing German or French or anything like that because I cannot really pronounce those things. So that would, yeah, be a little bit ridiculous. The Italian stuff worked because I can speak Italian fairly well. I can pronounce it rather well. So that worked out pretty well. But also, until the Italian content gets more views, it seems like it might be a bit pointless. You did a great job. Thank you. They were also very easy. I like them because they're easy. It was so some of my animations they involve moving parts, and I have to construct all these things. With the Italian stuff, it was picture, word, picture, word. So I was able to animate like 4 or 5 of those in a day. So it was less time consuming than some other content. But earlier I was talking about some content that's coming up, but I was muted, so nobody was able to hear it. I suppose I could reiterate what I was saying about my upcoming content. So I'm actually very excited because I just hired a ton of writers. I hired some writers to make content in a variety of different subjects, so I'm able to expand now because I've pretty much exhausted what I personally oops, unmuted again. See, every time I go away from OBS. So I have hired writers to write for me scripts in immunology, botany, zoology, and ecology. That's all one person. I've got somebody doing geology. I've got somebody doing economics. I've got 2 people doing classical physics and modern physics. Got some quantum mechanics stuff coming up. And that is a lot of stuff. I'm also looking for somebody to expand my biomedical content, do some more anatomy and physiology and pathology. And I'm also looking for somebody to do some more math. And I'm also looking for somebody to do engineering and computer science. That's all the stuff that I got really right up front here coming up soon. I really want to start doing this stuff a little more rapid fire, which will be possible if I don't have to do the writing. And I have found somebody who I am trying out as for doing some post-production. So I have a History of Drugs series coming up soon, and she's going to be animating that, and I feel good about it. We've talked a lot, and I've looked at some preliminary stuff, and I think it's going to work out, and that would be huge because I spend the vast majority of my time doing post-production. So I'm over here, as I was showing you, my desktop computer. That's where I do all my post-production, and I'm there, 60, 70 hours a week doing all that. So offloading a nice percentage of that to somebody else, or ideally multiple people. I would love to, in the next year or two, have 3 or 4 animators working for me. Then I could just not do any of it, and I would have my life back. And I could work on music, and I could spend time with my family, and I could relax a little bit. So that's going to happen soon. Anna says, I'm a geologist. That will really be interesting. Absolutely. That hopefully, yeah, you will. Hopefully, well, you won't need it because it'll be introductory geology. But if you want to read the scripts as a consultant, I'll pay you a little bit. Shoot me an email, and we can work that out. I always I like to have consultants just to check just to verify the quality of the scripts and have input there. So shoot me an email. Could work out. um, so yeah, I'm also excited to learn all of these things because I don't know anything about geology. I don't know anything. I don't know literally nothing about economics. I know almost nothing about botany, zoology, ecology. It's niche knowledge that I have the fundamentals required to understand it. So when I read that information and it refers to biological and biochemical principles, I understand it well and very quickly. But it's all brand new information that I did not know about. So I'm very excited because I'm entering a phase with the channel where I'm starting to do almost exclusively content on topics that I am unfamiliar with. So I'm learning all the time. When I was doing chemistry content, that was all just stuff I knew and had taught a lot. Now this is stuff that I not only have not taught, but that I never even learned. So it's fun for me. I'm well on my way to becoming a formidable generalist, which is my goal anyway. I want to become a great generalist and be able to use that ability to do well in debates and things like that. So yeah, so that's I don't have much else to say here. We still have a few of you guys. We have four. We've got four of you. Oops, let me. We've got four of you guys in the chat. So I will have to sort of pass the torch. I will happily answer any and all questions that you may have. And in absence of any questions, I think I may have rambled perhaps long enough, and we'll have to bow out and get to some other stuff. I told myself I had to do 4 TikToks today because I was supposed to do 2 yesterday and I didn't do any. So I have to do 4 TikToks. I'm on a deadline. TikTok expects me to complete 40 TikToks by, I don't know, I think it's in 2 weeks from now. So I got to get on that. So I'm going to pause for questions. I know that there is a delay, but without any questions in about a minute or so, I will have to cordially bid goodbye. Yeah, pausing for questions. Very excited for food later. I'm very hungry. I think we're going to grill out. I think we're going to grill some burgers today. That's really the only fun available to us right now is going out onto the back patio and using the grill and pretending that we're able to socialize with other people using FaceTime and things like that. Hopefully quarantine, well, I don't know. I live in California, so there's going to be a big second spike soon. So that may throw a kink in the plans to socialize with others. Anna asks, I haven't explored your site yet. Are all the Italian tutorials easy to find? Yes, absolutely. All of my content is very easy to find, so definitely go to the home page. Just click on Professor Dave Explains and go to the home page of the channel. All of my content is displayed very immaculately and organized immaculately on the home page by subject. So you will find the Italian playlist, and you can click on the Italian playlist, and all 121 of my Italian tutorials will show up in order, in the desired viewing order. And so that should occupy you. You can go to town with those 121 tutorials. Even if you watch 5 a day, that's going to take you about a month to get through there. So enjoy that. Yeah, so check out the Italian tutorials. Check out what else I've got on there. At the top, I've got my physics and astronomy. Then I've got my chemistry. Then I've got my biochemistry and biology. I've got biomedical topics. I've got math, broken down by category of math. And Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited because I'm going to have to revamp the homepage to accommodate all the new topics that are coming out. I'm going to have to. Right now, I've got recent uploads at the top, and I've got most popular uploads at the bottom. But I'm going to have to delete those because YouTube only allows for 10 categories on the homepage, and I'm going to need all of them to properly, display all my content. So that's going to be coming up soon. Gabor asks, what do you plan to include in the upcoming engineering course? Hardware engineering or some computer science engineering stuff? So I really want to do everything. I want to do really extensive playlists. I want to do mechanical engineering. I want to do aerospace engineering, and I want to do electrical engineering, and I want those to each be separate playlists. And then once electrical engineering is complete, that will allow me to then cover computer science and coding. I would love to do all of that stuff. Of course, I know precisely zero about any of that. So it's going to be about finding the right people to write it. So I've talked with two different people about writing engineering stuff, and they both flaked. I'd say about 90% of the people I talk to about writing end up flaking. So I have to cast a really wide net and talk to about 50 different writers just to get 3 people to follow through. So, but that is a high priority for me. So hopefully by the end of the calendar year, I will have found the right person to write much or most of that in engineering content. And so next year, hopefully that'll be a big feature. I'll be able to start releasing all that engineering content. Anna, I will let all of my Italian learning friends know about your site. Thank you very much. I do think that it is the best Italian tutorial content on YouTube. There's not that many channels. There are a few of them up there that are pretty popular, but I find them to be not very thorough. They just sort of, it's just people, it's Italians who just kind of speak Italian, and you're supposed to sort of put it together, and you learn a few vocab words at a time. But mine is my content's a lot more rigorous with the grammar, and I feel really is more helpful in actually definitively learning the language. And all the phonetics too. I really cover the phonetics very, very thoroughly. So not to knock any other channels out there, but I think my content is pretty solid. My mother, after all, has been teaching Italian for something like 40 years. So she's very good at it, and I'm pretty good at organizing information. So I found it to be, I had a fun time sort of taking her lessons and her scripts and sort of making modifications to make them work in my format. But all the information is from her, and she knows what she's talking about. So yeah, definitely. Anybody you guys know that wants to learn Italian, send them my way. A lot of people don't know that I have Italian content, and coincidentally, some of the people who find my Italian content first are very shocked to find that nothing else that I teach is remotely related to Italian. But so yep, got engineering hopefully in the future, and yeah, I mean I really want to cover it all. I want to cover philosophy, world history. I mean just really truly everything, literature even. I want to cover every academic subject. That is the goal, and I've got a lot of time to do it. So I've got my work cut out for me here. I'm going to be doing this for the next 20, 30 years probably. So that's a lot of time, but luckily there's a lot of stuff to know, so I'm never going to run out of material. I just look forward to being able to hand off everything to other people because I cannot sustain the workload that I have been handling for the past 4 years. I'm burnt out. I cannot do it anymore. So at least the writing is about 10% of the workload. So handing that off has been great. But man, I need this animator better work out. She better work out because I can't do it anymore. So hopefully she will be great, and then I might find 1 or 2 other people, and I can sort of delegate the task. Even if I just cut my post-production in half, that would be huge. That'd be huge. I'd get like 30 hours a week back to do other things. I could play music again. I could actually sleep like a normal person. Last night I slept, I think 6 hours, which, man, that's a lot for me. I haven't slept 6 hours in like probably a month because my wife has the kid over at her mom's house right now. So I didn't have to wake up 3, 4 times in the middle of the night to get the bottle, that sort of stuff. Yeah, so anyway, that seems to be the end of the questions. So I'm going to wait about 30 seconds here just to make sure that there are no more questions. But I really appreciate you guys. I know I've got about 100 members on YouTube and about 100 members on Patreon. So between these two communities, that's about 200 people that care enough to directly contribute and support me, which I really do appreciate. Your guys' support actually directly contributes specifically to how soon I can hire more people to do the animating because they need to get paid. And so you are directly contributing to me regaining my mental, my sanity, my mental health. So definitely it is a very important gift that you guys are providing for me. And I can't thank you enough for your support and also for hanging out with me for a little bit. I know only a couple of you guys made it in here. I'm sure some people have work and that sort of stuff. Yeah, I can't thank you enough. Definitely, I'm so happy that this has become my career. I'm so happy that my YouTube channel is working and that I can be a science communicator and that I don't have to have a job that I don't like and I don't have to teach anymore. And I'm just over the moon about it. With all things quarantine and everything, civil unrest notwithstanding, this has still been a good year, and I look forward to many even better years to come. So thank you guys, and I'll see you later.